And we went to Albania past May with 9 other members of KM, and we'd just like to share a little bit of our trip through a testimony. My first impression of Albania was poor and underdeveloped, which reminded me of Korea in the 70s. Water was only available for a few hours a day. The roads were unpaved, and driving on them felt like riding a roller coaster. Air was polluted and garbage was everywhere on the streets. Power went out every so often. So in the beginning, I thought it would be impossible to adapt to the Albanian living standards. Indeed, it was difficult. Every time we took a shower, we had to be quick, and even so, later people had to take cold showers. And every time we drove on the unpaved roads, I felt sick. However, despite all these shortcomings, I can confidently say that I really enjoyed the 10 days I spent in Albania, and the joy I experienced greatly outweighed the discomfort we had to endure. Through the mission trip, God clearly showed me that He was much bigger than I could ever imagine. When I thought of impossible, He proved me wrong and showed me His ways of making things possible. In the beginning of our mission trip, I was expecting to experience some kind of miracles, yet I doubted God at the same time. Our main purpose of the trip was to help the campus ministries of Shalom Church by outreaching to university students. While I was expecting to see some sick people getting healed, I couldn't even see how we could go out on the streets and convert Muslim Albanian students to Christian. I couldn't see how we can convince the students to come to our meetings when we can't even speak their language. All we knew how to say was "How are you?" which was CNE, and "Come, Haide." Despite my doubts, God filled the rooms every time, and not only the students came, some students even accepted Jesus Christ. But I guess I was forgetting that I was there to do God's work, and God was with us. On the last day of our actual mission schedule, we went to a city called Durrës. It was the first time for Shalom Church to have such a meeting in Durrës. So even the missionaries didn't know what to expect and was anxious about the meeting. And by this time, we were physically exhausted. But God trained us to pray through the mission trip, and as a team, we prayed for the meeting every moment we had. And God answered our prayers, and the meeting was such a success. Not just that, God showed us a miracle. It was not the miracle that I expected, like some sick person getting healed, but there were more people than the seats, and people were standing at the back and also outside the room. After every meeting, we had a little small group discussions, and because there were so many students, we did not have enough Albanian leaders to sit at every table. So on my table, there was no one who can speak Albanian, but just our team members, Dawn, Grace, and me. At first, we stared at each other, wondering what to say or how to say. The next thing I noticed was each of us, Dawn, Grace, and I, were speaking to 1 or 2 Albanian students about the 4 spiritual laws. I talked to 2 students myself, and at the end, when I asked them if they want to accept Jesus Christ, I felt like I was proposing to someone. I was nervous and anxious, but excited. And when they said yes, I was so happy, and then I knew God was doing all the works, and God was with us every step of the way. There are many more things I want to say about the trip, but I just want to say I was blessed to be there and to experience God up close and personal. I went to Albania with a list of prayers of my problems and my life, but I came back free of worries. Not that the problems went away, and problems are still there, but the same problems seem much smaller now. Before I close, I just want to thank all of you for praying with us, and I want to ask you to continue to pray for Albania and Albania leaders and the missionaries there.